Made it to the weekend, adventurers on the rise, solving riddles and casting missiles, throwing daggers at their eyes. If you're into fortune and glory and tales of the heart and soul, finding clues, knocking out some fools, depending on how they roll. It's D&D, yeah, with the Active Square. It's D&D, yeah, with the Active Square. They got the sheets and they got their dice, their treasures of the day. Yeah, it's D&D, with the Active Square. What is good, everybody? Welcome back to twitch.tv/VisPatel. I'm your man, Patel, and we are here with the Ethnic Squares. Say hi, everybody. We have got a skeleton crew in these spooky times for the month of October, but it's going to be all good. Up first, it's our Tabaxia monk looking to punch. They're way out of trouble. Let's hope their coin falls in your favor, or be prepared to feel their wrath. Brinking a sprinkle of stardust, I love the coins. It's my favorite part of Wales. The incredible artist, an even better friend. It's the amazing Nerf, Alice.
Hi.
We do nice over here.
It's very sweet. Every time. It gets me every time. You're very kind, Fritz.
Next up, it's time to cast Rage with the Barbarian Turtle. Boris, grab your greatsword and let's get reckless. More than enough brains to best any challenge I can throw their way. Guys, gals, and non-binary pals, give it up for my hero and a half shell. It's the marvelous Katie G.
Hello.
Hey. How's it going?
Good. Yeah.
Let's get to D&D, and joining us from the League of Legend events somewhere in London, I imagine, it's our Elven Blood Hunter Badra, Botreve by name, badass by nature, the Keeper of Coins, the Flusher of Fools, and new for this week, the Splitter of Gates. It's that Landon Lawyer, the Hitman with the fabulous head of hair, the Monster Hunter, ready to make an impact outside of Genshin 2. It's my main man, it's Rahula Hoop. He's going to be in here in the chat. There he is right there. So the roles of Pavato, Iona Ravenoak, Sky will be played by yours truly. But yeah, we are going to have all of the good fun right here. So as we always do, let's start with previously on Dungeons and Dragons. So the Ethnic Squares was thrown straight into battle with 4 Ravager stabby stabbers, crazed goblins even, drunk on a special brew known as Skullfire. Sky used her arcane powers to cast Bane on the lead Ravager, while Nua quickly followed up with a signature magic missile attack. Boris entered the enraged state and swung with their greatsword, while Iona Ravenoak firing from behind the formidable form of Badra Bolt Reaver. Cut deftly moved to swing with their sickle and their fists of fury, while Pavato trusted in the aim of his Weeping Willow bow and his blades ebony and ivory. After the battle, the voyage across the Osmond Sea was a peaceful one, with the party arriving in the Vesper Timberland docks of Orthansia well rested. However, the scene that greeted them was one of despair as the occupation at the hands of the deadly dragonflies. Mr. Matt92, how are you, my guy? Good to see you in the chat. Oh, Niles, thank you for the resub. That's very, very kind of you. With their minds focused on reaching the holy city of Vasselheim, the party rented a wagon drawn by the ponies, Hall and Oates. The scenery of the torch countryside and the scars of war the land now bore was too much for the tiefling sorcerer Nuo. With a crystallizing thought that she could make a difference and protect the people of Orthansia, she made the decision to leave the Ethnic Squares and join the fight against the dragonflies in the Armory Wars. After a solemn goodbye, Nuo set off into the night. And it was very tearful, it was very sad, but we do wish Nuo the very best luck, and hopefully we will see them again soon. So here we go with, yes, all the cry emotes from Badra in the chat. Episode 16, we are rattling through this campaign with Into the Cradle of Faith. Okay, so rising the next morning, the mood in the party is solemn with the departure of Nuo Ikin. Pavato offers to go and collect water to make some breakfast, just as Cut was poised to challenge him to a round of boulder parchment shears. That is the game of rock, paper, scissors here in D&D. An hour or so later, you're all packed up and ready to resume your journey to the capital city of Orthansia, Vasselheim. Urging the ponies Hall and Oates on, you take to the main road leading into the holy city with an eye out for any patrolling dragonfly soldiers. The scenery here also tells the tale of recent battles, where the forces of Vasselheim clashed with a band of religious zealots. Soon you'll find yourselves inside of the city gates, where you can see the walls are heavily fortified and manned with archers. One of the guards, Arya, she holds up her fist and says, "Hold! Please state your business!" We're a bit dumbfounded. What can we do for you today?
We're travelers. We want to. We're just passing through, but we need to stay. We're going to stay here, please.
Okay. So she says, well, the city of Vasselheim can provide refuge for you. Is there a particular deity that you're interested in visiting the temples of during your stay?
Ioun?
No, you've been to Ioun before.
Can I roll a memory check? Raven Queen. The Raven Queen?
It is the Raven Queen. Okay,
chat,
so
yeah.
yes, so Arya the guard says the Raven Queen. All right, you may proceed, but please be aware of the rules concerning magic in the city. So arcane magic has been banned here since Age of Arcanum. So any public displays of semi-powerful magic that isn't of a divine nature, may result in fines or jail time. So you and the party will need to keep an eye out to make sure that if you do magic, you don't get caught, because you will throw yourselves in jail.
Okay.
Are we all good?
Yeah.
Nods all round. So the heavy gates of the city creak open, and you are granted access to the city known as the Cradle of Faith. So Vasselheim is a city separated into multiple districts, and each district is kind of dedicated to praying and honoring one of the prime deities here on Exandria, or in Exandria rather. So you soon find yourselves in the main square of the city, a nexus point to the various districts of Vasselheim. So we have Silver Talon's Reach, we have the Braving Grounds, we have the Quad Roads, we have the Abundant Terrace, and we have something called the Dusk Meadow. Ethnic Squares, the day is yours. What would you like to do? Where would you like to go first?
So
Katie, thank you so much for the resub. Trix, how are you, my friend?
We're all rested, even though we've been traveling.
Correct, yeah. Fully rested, full HP and all the rest of it. So you're free to explore any of these districts, any or all of these districts.
Should we go like straight to try and find the temple?
Yeah. Do you happen to know which district it's in?
Can we ask?
Then you can try.
We have to ask.
Having a guess. So Badra pipes up and says that the Abundant Terrace has jumped out at him as one that he would like to explore. What say you?
Yeah, we'll follow your instincts, Badra.
Okay, cool.
I'll still keep an eye out for someone to ask, though, because it would be useful to. We'll still go there, but like have an idea of where.
Absolutely, no.
That is.
The abundance of what he wonders. So the district of Vasselheim is devoted to worship of Melora. Located in the western part of the city, it consists of mostly wooded areas and farmland. Various enchantments keep the weather mild, allowing for year-long harvest from its orchards. It's the location of the Seed of Rebirth, a tree which legend says was planted by the Wild Mother, sister tree to the Arbor Exemplar in the Barbed Field of Zoras. Places of note here, you've got the Birth Heart, which is the main temple to Melora, which is an ascending series of tiered and irrigated gardens tended to by people called the Glade Keepers. We also have the Midnight Breath Tavern, a tavern owned by a gentleman called Dragon. Ethnic Squares, is there anything you'd like to do here, or would you like to try a different district?
I have an idea. How close could we get to the legendary tree?
You can absolutely get it right up close to it. So as you walk up there, it takes a good.
Pavato can speak to plants, right?
Sure can.
Would he like to see if the tree has anything interesting to say?
Sure.
I'm not quite sure what the question would be, but it just seems like too good an opportunity not to stop and talk to a legendary tree.
Okay, that's fine. So Pavato casts Speak with Plants, and yeah, so he begins to strike up a conversation, and he can ask 3 questions to the Seed of Rebirth. So first of all, he asks how they are doing, and they're doing pretty well. And yeah, so the weather is mild all year round here, so they are quite content and healthy and happy, and currently in bloom. Is there anything else that you would like Pavato to ask?
How many more holy symbols do we need to have? Should we ask if the tree knows the Wild Mother and whether the Wild Mother has a holy symbol?
Yes. So there are temples. Oh, sorry, there are symbols dedicated to all of the prime deities scattered across Exandria. However, from what you were told by the members of the class, but back in Westrun, in Westrun, is that the spiraling hawthorn is currently after the symbol of Ioun, which you've got already, and then what you know so far is they're after the symbol of the Raven Queen as well. So it's only those 2 that I think you need to concern yourself right now.
But yeah, without knowing exactly what he's after, he went from Ioun to the Raven Queen. Will he just go to the next one? So if we get the next one first, maybe.
Potentially, but I don't think there's any leads that you have that you know where Melora's symbol is right now. Although you do have a lead of where you can find the symbol of the Raven Queen, which has led you here to Vasselheim.
I don't know what else. Toss the tree.
we could just ask the tree if they know anything about the Raven Queen or the symbol or anything, because if they are located in an area where people are walking past, maybe they've overheard something.
Sure. So anything, the tree replies that anything to do with the Raven Queen, you would have to go to the district known as the Dusk Meadow.
Cool.
Yeah. If I take you back to the list of districts, it's up to you to decide whether you want to go straight to the Dusk Meadow or go anywhere else first.
I think maybe we should at least go to see, is the temple open to the public, or is it something we're going to have to scout out and go? Yeah. Shall we?
Yeah, absolutely. You can go there. All in favor?
Yeah.
Okay, nods all round. So onwards to the Dusk Meadow. So let's
bye, tree.
You see the tree wave their branches kind of nicely in a bye bye.
I don't think there will be. Can if we've got a spare question left, just sort of say if the tree would like anything, if there's anything easy we can get it.
No, as I said, the tree is quite content at the moment, as is Melora. So yeah, she knows that her symbols aren't in reach of being grasped by the hands of evil and that kind of thing. So yeah, they are cool for the moment. So Badra says, "Good. I'm glad the tree is content." So the Dusk
we should also ask it to please not tell anyone that we've been here in case someone else tries to talk to the tree and it's immediately the ethnic squares just walked past.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, I'll say you're allowed to do that. So they make the motion that their branches are sealed, kind of thing, because they don't have lips. So the Dusk Meadow district is dedicated to the worship of the goddess of death, the Raven Queen. Its priesthood is the leaderless order of maidens known as the Trust of Winter. The district celebrates death as part of life and appears lively in contrast to the other parts of town. The buildings are dark, but morbid celebration is constant here. Areas of interest for you. We have the Aranthine Oblet, the prison here in Vasselheim. So if any magic comes from you and your party, you might wind up here. We have another set of catacombs, underground structures where the dead of Vasselheim are interred. We have the Velvet Cabaret, a place of leisure for wealthy guests. So I'm sure that Ayana may want to go do some pickpocketing maybe after you get done here and get what you need, because time is of the essence against Spiraling Hawthorn. And we have something called the Raven's Crest, the Gothic cathedral dedicated to the worship of the Raven Queen. Ethnic Squares, what would you like to do? Just tricks in the chat says, Sean, you leave them alone for a moment and they're talking to a tree. Tells you so much.
What was the last place you said?
The Raven's Crest. So this is a Gothic
Raven's
cathedral
Crest.
dedicated to the worship of the Raven Queen.
That seems promising.
I think if I was going to have a holy symbol.
I mean, it could do, but you might need to do some things to uncover where it might be.
If we go like towards it and up against it, does it look like anyone can kind of walk into the building?
Should we find out?
Yeah, so we're just, I don't know, just casually like walking up to it and see if we kind of get
shot. So heading through the Dusk Meadow, you see the cathedral known as Raven's Crest. The obsidian structure is impressive to behold, with 3 towers reaching to the skies. Standing in the shadow of the cathedral, onyx stairs lead up to the entrance. You see 2 large doors, each 12 feet high and 8 feet across. Peering through the windows, any detail is impossible to make out as the view inside is completely pitch black. So yeah, anybody can walk up to the cathedral, and yeah, it's pretty large in its structure kind of thing, so it's a nice walk to go around it. But at the moment, yeah, you just see the only entry point is these 2 large doors. Badra goes, wow.
Yeah.
Doing his best, Owen Wilson.
Who can disguise themselves without using magic? With a disguise?
Sky can do that.
Should like Sky disguise themselves and like go up to the doors and like not like pretend that they're meant to be there, but be like, oh, I want to go in and pray, and maybe do like some recon.
Okay, well, yeah, from so Sky asks around to see before she like dons her disguise. It takes her like half an hour to get ready, kind of thing. And yeah, people are able and willing to able to go into the cathedral and offer their prayers and whatnot to the Raven Queen. So I'm sure if you just knock on the door, kind of thing, then you'd be allowed in. Unless you do want them to dress up in disguise. So yeah, they've got their like monocle and top hat at the ready.
Should we just go in and speak to like, is it the Trust of Winter, did you say? Like the people in charge?
Those are the maidens.
And like explain what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
So like, do we need to have the symbol, or we just have to make sure that
you're looking for the symbol, kind of thing? So you understand there is a symbol to the Raven Queen here in the temple somewhere. So in the same way that you went into Grayskull Keep, and then you went into the temple that Scanlan built to seek the symbol of Ioun, you're doing a similar thing here as well.
Like, I don't know what benefit is to be like sneaky about this.
I don't think there is. I think
no.
You know, people are more than welcome to come in.
Yeah, and if we need to disguise ourselves later, or like Sky needs to disguise herself, she can do that later rather than now.
Meanwhile, Badra Bolt Reaver is chanting, "Go in, yo, go in."
Yeah, we're going.
Yeah.
Go knock on the doors.
Okay. Fantastic. So as you knock on the doors twice, we will say 2 members of the Trust of Winter open the doors to the Raven Crest. They lead you through into an entrance chamber. There is a constant tremble as the walls echo here with a powerful divine influence. Further on from the entrance chamber is a hall that spans 100 feet in front of you. At the end of this hall, a translucent glass shifts into the next chamber. So what we'll say is the Trust of Winter, they open the door, and you notice that the maidens are blindfolded. And as soon as they kind of open the door, they kind of disappeared into the kind of rest of the environment here. So you are left with this entrance chamber, and you see a hallway, and at the end of the hallway there is a kind of glass pane which you can go through and go into the next chamber if that's something that you'd be interested in.
So I think Badger was asking some questions.
Yeah. The way you describe it just makes me picture that we've just pushed open the doors of a Dark Souls. Like this is a Dark Souls boss room. So I can't get past that.
Think of like the decor of inside of Isengard. That kind of thing. So everything is like black and marble, and yeah, it's quite ominous.
Cool. I mean, yeah, Badra's suggestion is that we can ask people about the symbol in a general way that shouldn't raise alarm.
Okay, how do you want to do that?
Whoever's best at talking, which probably isn't Boris.
Okay.
Persuasion, no.
Sure.
I feel like
so
the bard
is it sort of generally known that the symbol might be like is there an angle where
Not
we could
really.
say that we're pilgrims to the traveling to see it?
Yeah, there's definitely places where one can offer a prayer and make a donation to the Raven Queen, and you see a few people in here kind of thing just dotted around like solemnly having a quiet prayer to themselves kind of thing. But in terms of that's just in this entrance chamber. I think if there was to be a symbol anywhere, then it would be further into the cathedral.
Do you know that they're blindfolded and kind of just like let us be?
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
Can we approach them?
You sure can.
So can you tell us the history of this building? I'm a tourist and I'm very interested.
Sure. So the maiden that you speak to, she smiles at you kindly from behind her blindfold, but she doesn't say anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, okay.
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 But Revolt Reaver goes, okay then. So he understands the situation as well. But you do have a pathway open in front of you, and it doesn't seem to be dangerous in any way, shape, or form. So it's for you to proceed, should you want to.
Are they like? I know their eyes are blindfolded, but are they looking at us funny if we start to walk towards the mirror? Like we're just gonna go through it.
Okay, so we'll say that Sky starts to make a march towards the end of the hallway, and yeah, the expression doesn't change. And yeah, but they do notice that one of your party is moving that way, but it seems all good for now.
Follow?
Chat gang, this is what happens when you traumatize your party with traps constantly.
I suppose.
I think
so.
Go forward, but I want to stop and like offer a respectful prayer and drop, we'll say, 2 gold pieces. I think I have that.
Right.
As a donation, like just to try and reinforce that we are being respectful here. We're not about to rob you.
Absolutely. So we'll say you take a moment to do that, and then the party kind of passes through into the hallway and further on into the cathedral. All good.
I'm just nervous. Like something that's too easy. Can't just walk in.
Would I do that? The answer is yes. Yes, I would. Right? So the next chamber is decorated in deep greys and blacks with contrasting architecture, finely carved pieces of ivory and ice. The center of the chamber features a spiral staircase stretching 30 feet into the ceiling. The top of the staircase is a single, deep, dark oak wooden doorway. You also notice that a dark iron ring is at the center of the door. So you find yourself in this intricately decorated chamber once more. There is a spiral staircase in the middle. Sky very excitedly ascends the staircase. She throws herself up there kind of thing. And she says, oh, there's a door here. There's a big door with an iron ring in it.
Is there anyone else here apart from us?
There are not at the moment.
Okay. I'm just scared something's going to try and hurt us.
I also don't want to be responsible for killing all the people who aren't currently actually here.
Hey, you're fine. That'll be on me.
The carve and the decorations. Is there anything like depicting something that could be an icon?
Yeah, it's mostly skulls and raven wings and those kind of thing. Badra, he says he puts his ear to the door and sees if he can hear anything. He cannot. So there's not anything good behind the door that you can hear, but there's not anything bad either.
But knock on the door?
Come and knock on the door.
And so gently push it, see if it's unlocked. And
yeah, the door unlocks and it swings open.
And does the dark iron ring like signal like someone's like, oh, that's
decoration.
Okay.
Yeah. Something to add a little bit of colour into this world, you know?
Everything's a clue.
Badger's gonna walk first through the door, I think.
Okay. Can I just point out, Badger is all for chanting, go through the door, go through the door. Never once he says, right, I'll go through the door first.
That's why I was suggesting it. I don't want to be opposed.
Great. So we'll say that Badger goes first through the door, as he just says in chat right here. So yeah, so he goes through the door and yeah, he sees that it's just another empty chamber. So everything is a-okay to go on through. So the door leads to a small chamber with some intricate stone tilings on the floor, spanning the width of the room. 10 square feet in size, you can see various letters and runes in a variety of languages. So the first row of tiles features Dalek script, a word that I can't pronounce. The second row features letter in the Lodoxan language. The third row features characters in Aquan. The fourth row carries letters in Goblin. And the fifth and final row features letters in Sylvan. So, who can speak these languages?
I can speak.
I can speak Aquan.
There we go. So Badra pops up and says, I can speak the first one. And Sky also says that she can translate the Goblin runes as well. Pavato, he's proficient in Sylvan, so he'll be able to translate those too. Badra makes a small light cry of pain and then looks at the party hoping they're worried and then laughs because he tricked them. He says. Okay, so after spending some moments to translate the runes on the floor and you scratch them down onto a piece of parchment, we have these letters here. And on the inscription on the left-hand side of the wall, you say it reads, to find the way in to Raven's Crest, follow these rules and pass this test. You must start at the bottom, must start from the bottom, much like Drake began to say. You cannot repeat a rune, and the next tile must be adjacent to the tile that you and your party currently occupy. So Ayana takes a moment to take all this in, and she says, right, so I think this only works if the whole party is standing on the same tile at the same time, kind of thing. But the rest of it is completely up to you. So let's do a little bit of this and make it a little bit bigger for you. So starting from the bottom, you can pick any of these letters that you want and see if you can work your way across the room. With this clue, to find the way in to Raven's Crest, follow these rules and pass this test.
I'm guessing I'm going to have to spell something.
Yeah, I'm trying to see what.
I'm a very bad speller.
It's okay, I'm here to help.
It's like so adjacent means
so just anything
not
next
at an
to
angle.
Oh, it can be at an angle, yeah, absolutely. So you can go diagonals, you can go up, down, left, right, whatever direction you want, but it's only like one space at a time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
we could start from the bottom.
We could get at the start.
Mm-hmm.
We started on the T, went left one, and then went diagonally to the E. But then I don't know what the I don't want to actually do that as a group. I don't want to.
That's fine. I remember the last time I tried to assume that you did something in a puzzle and that got mad at me. The only clue that you have is the inscription on the wall at the moment.
Yeah.
I
mean, you can get the word test, which also doesn't seem right from the start, but then.
So yeah, so the floor is stretching like a good 50 feet in front of you. So I think you need to use all 5 rows.
Yeah. Obviously, that's the problem of where I'm getting of like, I can get the first word and we're only halfway across, and I can't see. After that?
Is the bottom like literally the bottom? We're standing like next to CHTLC, not QX. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What word could it be? It's got to be 5 letters. Do you think it's probably just one on each line?
It doesn't necessarily have to be 5 letters. So yeah, Pavato says, looking at it, it could be more than that. Because you can move in any direction, you might have to repeat letters on certain row on the same row, or it could be might have that wrong. So who knows? To find the way in to Raven's Crest, follow these rules and pass this test. What do we think it could be?
You cannot repeat a rune, so we can't go repeat the same letter.
You can't like jump on the T to get like double T.
Oh goodness.
Do you want to try standing on the T and see what happens?
Okay.
Cool. So as the whole party stands on the T, it lights up in a positive orange.
Okay.
Badr is saying something in the chat. He says you can make the word these. I don't think you.
Where's the other? Oh yeah,
maybe you can.
You'd have to go backwards. These.
Yeah, and you'd be repeating an E, I think, which goes against the second rule.
Yeah, I'm guessing you can't. Once a rune's used up, it's used. Would be my guess.
Correct.
Oh,
but nothing terrible happened when you all stepped on the T.
Okay.
Yeah.
Find the way in. So we can do we could do way. We can do in.
Yeah. Okay.
By George, I think she got it. So as you step across all of these.
It's clever.
Sometimes the answer
You're
is right.
Clever,
Bets. So, as you unsuccessfully crossing the tile floor, the door at the end of the chamber unlocks, and you are allowed to proceed. GG's, Alice. Trix is saying, "Yay for Alice!" in the chat.
It must be so frustrating, like watching us like struggle over stuff.
I love that process of you trying to figure it out and then getting the solution, and then this time not talking yourselves out of it for an hour, which has happened in the past. Right. So great stuff. So on the door at the end of the chamber unlocks, and you're allowed to proceed. So the door leads to another chamber, but this one has 100 feet high ceiling, or 100 foot high ceiling, I should say, completed with a large steepled dome of stained glass. The light is diffused through the glass, perpetually shifting through the spectrum of colors dancing across the floor. At the center of the chamber is a large round pool filled with a deep crimson liquid. From what you can tell, the depth of the pool is unknown, but you imagine it's very deep. Ethnic Squares, what would you like to do? Well, Badger says, wow, 100 feet.
Does it smell like blood? No, I'm not touching it.
Yeah, sure. So going up to it and taking a look in, it does seem like that thick, viscous sense, and you do correctly identify that it is blood.
I would like to drop something small and maybe maybe a copper piece if we've got a spare copper piece or
sure.
something into it to see if it if anything horrible happens when something touches the liquid.
Yeah, so nothing terrible happens, but you do hear it go boop, as it submerges under the blood and then sinks down to underneath. Badger says, make a wish.
Well, yeah, Maurice has made a wish, but can't say out loud what it is. Or it'll
of course, because otherwise it won't come true, right?
Yeah.
That's how wishes work.
Are there any pictures on the stained glass, or is it just pretty colors?
No, so it just seems to be a variety of different colors in the stained glass kind of thing. Anna makes a suggestion that maybe we need to jump in.
Boris points out that they can hold their breath for a super long time, but it is
they
blood.
Sure can.
It is blood, though. I can hold my breath for an hour. Okay,
so Badr says he volunteers as tribute. So we will say that Badr decides, I've got this, don't worry, I'll go first kind of thing. And they step into the pool of blood and they find out that it is very, very deep. They allow themselves to be submerged and you don't see them reappear above the pool for a very, very long time.
before they submerge, can I, if I've got, if one of us has a long piece of rope in our pack?
Yep, absolutely. There's, I think if you
Give them-
have a 50-foot long piece of rope, rather than saying 50 thong, yeah.
Yeah, if you, I'll say tie this around your waist and like tug on it 3 times if you want us to try and pull you back up.
Okay, absolutely. So, yeah, they tie that around the waist, and you know, they take a deep breath, and then they plunge, they hold their nose, kind of thing, and yeah, you see them start to sink beneath the pool of blood, kind of thing, and you don't see, you don't feel like a 3 pulls on the rope to see for you to come back or to drag him out, kind of thing.
Can you like say over the ear and it's like, Badger, are you okay? Can you hear us?
Mm-hmm. That's all you hear.
Do you think it's that we all have to be in there together, or
probably?
So,
but not necessarily.
Yeah, Pavato suggests, look, this is the Matron of Death, right? The god of death. Maybe we need to sacrifice ourselves in order to proceed.
I sigh. I take off like most of my clothes and try and like roll them up and try and make sure they get as unbloody as possible.
Sure.
And like, I'm just reluctant about it all. Like reluctantly giving this.
So we will say that you bundle as many clothes and like pieces of armor as you can into your backpack, kind of thing. So they will remain protected.
Badger's idea is, do we need to give some blood to the pool?
So as he has that thought and kind of passes that you know, over the earring through bubbles of him going. So we'll say that if you want to try that, then you're more than welcome to.
But if I cut my hand and that doesn't work, then I've got to jump into the blood with a cut hand.
Yeah,
which just seems really unhygienic.
It does,
but it is D&D, so I'll probably ignore that, and I'm okay. I'll try it. I'll grab a knife and I'll go.
Okay.
Don't cut my hand because that's actually really dumb. I'll cut like part of my arm.
Sure. So, as the first drop of I'll say red blood. I'm not sure what color blood runs through the veins of the turtle, kind of thing. Yeah, as soon as it lands into the pool of blood, you see it kind of diffuse into the red crimson liquid that's already there, kind of thing, but there is no effect.
Okay, I don't think this was the answer. I like bandage slightly.
So you see more of the rope being pulled in towards the pool as Badra is sinking into it. But there are no signs of struggle, I will say that.
I'm in there. I'm following Badger, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't mind, especially because I can hold my breath. I'm happy to jump in as well.
Sure. So, one by one, the party of the ethnic squares, they have a dip inside the pool of crimson blood, and they find out, this is a deep, deep pool, kind of thing. And as they fall and the breath leaves their body, they feel a sense of calm coming across over them in terms of giving themselves to the Lord of Death, the Raven Queen, kind of thing. One by one, Boris, you can see that each of them stops struggling against it and kind of accepts their fate, except for you, who are still holding on to their breath for a really, really long time, because that's a trait of a turtle.
Cool. So
now your party is
the whole party
motionless.
is just drowning. They all just drowned.
This is my way to get a total party kill. I know Matt Mercer tried to do one, but I'm going to get there first.
And did they?
Boris?
They didn't. None of them showed panic in the moments before in a way that I would associate with unplanned drowning.
Yeah, there was no struggle, no going, any of that. No.
Okay.
Giving in?
I breathe. Or I stop holding my breath. I don't quite know how it works.
So, as you feel unconsciousness come over you, kind of thing, you black out, and you do feel that sense of peace, of offering yourself as sacrifice to the Raven Queen. Les in the chat, total party kill. That's what I'm talking about, my dude. So, some time later, your consciousness returns to each of you, and climbing to your feet, you find yourselves in a new environment. So you guys are totally clean. There's no traces of blood on you or anything like that. But this was one of the tests of the Raven Queen for you to prove kind of your loyalty for them and kind of the lengths that you would go to kind of honor her and, you know, be in that space of mind to retrieve her symbol. Les, thank you so much. Oh, Alice, thank you so much for the gifted sub. You just gifted a sub to Les. So yes, so you find yourselves in this new environment. You've got this dimly lit hallway. There's a few scant torches around kind of thing. So those of you without dark vision, you can get by just about kind of thing. So at the end of the doorway is an inscription in common. And it reads, your sacrifice has led you to the halls of the Raven Crest. May your resolve remain strong through these trials to earn an audience with the holiness, the Raven Queen. Ethnic Squares, is there anything that you'd like to do or prepare before you proceed? Badra says, trials, let's go. You're in another dungeon, baby. That's what we're talking about.
Are we like still like covered in blood?
No,
like magic blood that comes off.
Yeah, it's like it never happened. So as you retrieve your belongings back from your satchel kind of thing, yeah, everything is as spick and span as before you jumped in.
No, I like smooth my fur down a little bit.
Absolutely. All good.
This hallway is still a man-made hallway, isn't it? It's not a natural cave at this point. Cool.
Yeah, you just happen to be in another part of the cathedral. It's just this was the kind of only mechanic to get you to teleport to here.
Yeah.
All right then. Yeah, so the doorway leads to a dark hallway, at the end of which is the first of the challenges set by the Raven Queen. This chamber is protected by one of her riddles, beautifully carved into the magically sealed door. Halo of water, tongue of wood, skin of stone for as long as I've stood. My fingers short reach to the sky. Inside my heart, people live and die. What am I? So as you're thinking about that, Ayana picks up on the two torches flanking either side of the door. And from your previous experience, giving wrong answers usually have painful consequences.
Okay.
But I will say, because I'm a cool DM, that Boris, when you cut yourself, there was no like 1 point of damage taken. I won't say that.
Thank you.
So Sky pipes up and says, "Halo of water. That must mean like a ring of water, right? So what has a ring of water around it?"
A ring of water around it, like if I whisper,
yeah,
will the flames get me?
No. I'm sure like the carving on the door will like, change and say "final answer?" question mark for when you're ready to submit your answer.
I keep thinking like a planet or Earth or something like that, but I don't feel like that is really the answer.
Yeah, I was thinking Halo of Water. All I can think is either island or like a castle moat. And again, I don't think either of those fit.
Why not?
I want to say, it feels like the answer should be like a tree, but it doesn't quite fit. I mean, if it was like do castles have anything that you can interpret as fingers?
Oh gosh, yeah. No, it's tongue of wood. It's like the drawbridge. Skin of stone is like his walls. Finger short reach the sky. Maybe the bits that go a little up and down.
I think you got it.
Cool. Yeah.
Well done.
So, as Maurice mentioned, castle, the door, the kind of engravings on the door, they magically disappear, and they come up with two characters with a G and then another G for GGs, and then you're allowed to proceed. Good job.
Oh, well done.
Okay, so the next chamber you entered is dominated with a 4x4 square grid on the floor. There's no apparent exit to the room. However, there is an altar towards the top. as you approach this altar, you all notice that the presence of 9 skulls, each seemingly belong to a different species of creature. On the altar itself, an inscription carved into stone. It reads, "Tales of souls and swords are eternally retold, yet one secret remains for you to unfold. You're invited to solve this puzzle of my design, where celestial light shall bless 4 of the 9. And what you see in front of you is this grid. So we have a 4x4 grid, and we have 6 stars. We have 9 skulls, which you can move into any position that you want. And you have the clue from before here. Ethnic Squares, the room is yours. How would you like to try and solve this?
Where celestial light shall bless 4 of the 9.
Yeah. What do you think that means?
So 4 skulls and 4 lights need to be in the same square.
Correct. So these stars are fixed on the ground, so they're just kind of painted onto the stone flags kind of thing. But you can place 4 of these skulls on, or you need to place 4 of these skulls on the stars, and then the others can go wherever you want, kind of thing.
If we look at the skulls, I'm wondering. You said something about like them all being all different.
Yeah, they're all from different types of creatures.
Yeah, if it's possible to identify any of the creatures that they're from.
Sure. Yeah, so you see that there are a collection. So there's some dwarf skulls in there. There's some dwarven skulls. There's definitely some orcs. There's a few goblins. There's one that's human, and then one that you imagine is a dragonborn.
Okay. So I'm wondering if there's got to be something that distinguishes 4 of them from the others. And I'm wondering if it's celestial light, if it's either that 4 of them are like good and the other 5 are bad, or natural and like made for magic or something.
Cool. Cut, do me a favor. Can you roll an investigation check for me, please?
Okay. Investigation.
Yeah.
11.
Great. So as Boris is kind of examining the skulls and kind of picking them up and kind of sizing them up to see if there's any differences, are they kind of aligned differently between light and dark, you notice that above and to the side of the grid, there are these markings. So you have 3, 1, 2, 3. And then down the side, you have 3, 2, 3, 1.
Okay.
So Badger is saying, I keep thinking unfold has something to do with the symmetry of the grid.
So we have to... So should we put them on the 4 that have symmetry?
Okay, so where would you like to put this one then?
Top right.
Okay. You got it.
And then we're gonna die. Then should I read the top axis first, then the side axis? So should I say, if I say 1, 3?
Yeah, so 1 across and 3 down. Yeah?
Yeah.
Cool.
And then the one to the right of that.
Sure.
And the one below that. Then that has symmetry along the diagonal.
It does. Where do you think the other 5 are going?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so it can be in it's really hard to explain. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If we put the other ones in the middle, so I got a square in the middle, then at 2, 3 and 2, 3 the other side.
Yeah.
That's still symmetrical.
Do you like that? Yep.
Yeah.
So the line of symmetry is here, right? Yeah. And then
go in
diagonally. The 2. Sure. So like 1 here and then 1 here.
3, 2. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Great. So nothing happens, and there's no like magical door that materializes. So I don't think this is a solution. I'm gonna roll an investigation check for. Actually, Boris, make a perception check for me, please.
There's 20.
Awesome. Right. So you kind of surmise, looking at the markings that Cut found, that maybe the markings have an indication of how many skulls need to go in that corresponding row and or column.
Yeah.
It's like pick crew game.
Pick cross, yeah.
We've got a magic square.
I'm gonna if it's put cross, it'll either be all or none of the stars need to be covered. I'm going to guess then.
Well, we know that 4 need to be covered. 4 of the 9.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I'm drawing this.
Okay.
So that's to say, in this first column, there needs to be 3, right?
Yeah.
But in this first row, they also need to be 3.
That's so cool.
Yeah. Yeah, so... So
Badger is saying the 1 in 3, 3, this one stays.
Yeah, and I'm thinking there needs to be 1 in the other 3, 3 on the top left. I would guess.
Okay, that's fine. So let's move this guy over to here. So you need, so the 3 that you've got in the moment satisfies this condition. It's whether you want to move this fellow or not.
One from that row has got to move. No, sorry, that column has got that. Sorry, I'm getting. Is that
no, that's fine.
Whether it's that one or a different one, and it's got to move to the far left. Oh, but the far right. Yeah. I might also grab some paper.
Yes,
because I get what it's needed now, but
yeah.
4. Okay. This is not very audible.
It's all good.
Sorry.
Yes, Bandra, that's correct. So if a row or column says 3, then you need 3 skulls in that row and or column.
Yeah.
But you need to satisfy the condition that Celestial Light bless 4 of the 9. So 4 of these skulls need to be on the stars.
Yeah.
And the symmetry, do we think the symmetry is a thing as well?
I don't think so.
Okay. See if there's a way I can move my webcam so you can...
It's okay. You can hold the piece of paper up if you want. Sure. Yeah, so you know on the bottom row here, that only needs to be 1, but where does it go kind of thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Would you be able to move the skulls, most of the skulls back to the side? So then instead of rearranging them, we're like adding them in. But I'm thinking there are 3.
I think these 2 in the top row are kind of locked in, right? So I will say that much.
Pretty much. Yeah. And I think the one to the left of the one you're moving now probably is as well. Because I'm guessing there are 3 stars that line up as 3-3, and I'm guessing that all 3 of them will be there. And then it's just
that's fine.
The others. So if it was
it's trickier than I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah. It would, and then that would do 2. That would need 2. Okay, I think I've got it.
Okay.
Let me just double check. So, no, I haven't.
Okay, no worries.
Oh no, I have. I just didn't write in. Oh no. No, sorry. No, I don't have it.
Hey, you're fine. So, yeah, so like Iona says, so this bottom row definitely needs to have one of them at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah, so because it's got a 1 here, it needs to have at least one, or only one skull on this row.
Okay. I'm going to do what I've drawn permanent and then see if I can hold it up. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, I've clipped 5 stars. Never mind.
Oh no. There's 6 stars in total.
Yeah. Oh, but I can do it. I can do it.
Yeah.
So that can go.
Okay, no.
Oh, goodness me. I just want to be able to move them like on the screen.
Oh, of course.
So
I think I'm pretty sure I've got it now. Do you want me to wait?
Sure, absolutely. Let's try a solution.
Just try.
Okay, so if we go the top row, put 1 into the 3rd place.
Okay, so here.
Yeah. Yes, and then the second row, the last 2, so 3 and 4, would be filled.
Okay.
Then row 3, it's 1, 2, and 4.
1, 2, and 4.
And then the last row is 1.
Okay.
And I think that does it.
Let's see. So we've got 3 down here. We've got 1 down here. We've got 2 down here. And we've got 3 down here. We've got 1, 2, 3. We've got 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and 1. And 1, 2, 3, 4 of the 9 are blessed with celestial light.
Done.
Fantastic. Round of applause.
Well done. Well done.
GG. So as you successfully solve this puzzle, the altar itself kind of moves forward in a Legend of Zelda style and unveils a staircase that goes underneath it. Just before you seem to jump into it, that is where we'll end today, for we've had 2 amazing puzzles solved and a riddle as well. So yeah, congratulations. Video games, everybody, teaching you skills that you never thought you need again. But that is awesome. Badra says, thanks guys, that was awesome indeed. I'm saying awesome quite a bit, so here we go. Let's see if we can't find someone to raid as we go on to Twitch and into Stream Manager and click the raid channel. If there are no objections, I thought we can give Despawn Games a cheeky raid, for they are playing Dead by Daylight in this spooky times. So yeah, thank you everybody so much for being part of this stream. This is the most fun I've had playing D&D in terms of in general, and yes, it's been amazing. So yeah, if we're all ready, take care, all the best, and we shall see each other soon. Take care everybody. Bye. And in this usual way where I don't know what I'm doing on Twitch, it takes 10 seconds for this thing to work, so I'm having a good time until we make this happen, but it's all good. Take care, everybody. Bye.